So another thing we're going to be doing is updating or upgrading the fuel system a little bit, putting a different fuel cell in, changing the fuel pump. So we've got a much bigger pump and going with putting new fuel lines up and a new fuel regulator. We're not going to have a standalone pump for the nitrous, so we'll have a single pump. So I need to make sure that it's big enough to handle what we're going to throw at it. I pulled the old fuel cell out already. The biggest reason to putting this other one in is that it's got the sending unit. This is from my old race van, and I want to have a working fuel gauge in here. One of the benefits to having a working fuel gauge is when you're going to change your fuel cell, you know how much gas is in it. So when you start draining it and you fill up the 5-gallon bucket and the gas keeps coming and you have to scramble through the garage and start grabbing beer growlers to fill up the gas or to put the gas in as it's trying to overflow. So sending unit, big advantage. Also changing the fuel pump. This is the pump that I had been running. It's a Trick Flow 140. It's this is the second one that I had on here. I learned that these pumps are actually prone to just stopping. Do they just stop working? They just stop. Had one, and of course, going to the drag strip one day is when everything breaks for no reason, and it just quit. It was fine, and it just quit. So got another one, and then the lady at Summit was like, "Do you really want to get another one of these pumps that you know has a problem?" Read the reviews on it, and it seems like I definitely wasn't the only person with that issue. But that certainly won't help the nitrous. It won't be enough volume, so we are going to the MagnaFuel 500, which is the same pump that Dad's been running on the 34 for years, and it'll support up to way more horsepower than I'll be throwing at it. So we'll change out the bungs in the fuel cell, go to the 12 bung, so it'll be number 12 line from the fuel cell to the pump, number 10 line up to the front of the van, up to the regulator, and then we'll probably just keep the 6 lines from there. I've also got a relay, fuel pump relay for the fuel pump, which I've never run before, but I'm doing a lot of things that I've never done before, but I've been told by my friends that are much smarter than me about this type of stuff that I definitely should be doing that. So this pump will have a relay on it as well, and that should make this fuel system pretty good for what we're going to do with it. I think I'm going to remove this fuel cooler here too. This was something else that I had left over from my old van. I don't know if it ever did anything, but I always thought it looked cool. But again, this line, that's only 8 line, and it narrows from there. So I don't want to have any restriction problems. I want to make sure that the nitrous gets exactly what it needs. It's got all the fuel that it can possibly need. So we're just going to pull this whole thing off and run the 10 line right up to the regulator and go from there. I got the electric gauge now, so I don't have to worry about the port for the fuel pressure gauge. This gauge always bounced around, and I don't know why, but hopefully that new electric gauge should just be all we need. I don't need to rely on that other stuff. Get a little bit into the common era of things. This thing is filthy. We will work on that at some point.